Namaste everyone, welcome to the class. Now today in this class we are going to discuss differentiability of a function. Now if I say if f is a real function and c is any point in its domain, then derivative of the function f at c is given by, when I am finding derivative of function I will write f dash, or I will write d of f upon dx if x is a variable. So here in definition itself, if I say fx is a real function and c is any point in its domain, then the derivative of function, that is fx at c, is given by, so here I can say that this is df upon dx. As x is variable, so I am differentiating with x, and this will be equal to limit h tends to 0 f of c plus h minus f of c whole divided by h. This is the basic definition of derivative that you have done in your 11th standard. We have derived some formulas using this method, and we use those formulas whenever derivative is asked for any particular function. So using this definition, we have find out derivatives of some standard functions. So in your class, it is asked to find derivative, then you are going to use direct formulas, which we are going to discuss after some time. One more category of problem is that it is asked to check whether the derivative of function exists at any point or not. So how we check that? Okay, so let us discuss that. If we have to check if derivative of any function exists at any point, say at x is equals to c, then we find left hand and right hand limit of the derivative and check if they are equal. Then we find, I will say that we find the values of, first we find the value of limit h tends to 0 minus f of c plus h minus f of c whole divided by h, and secondly we find the value of limit h tends to 0 plus f of c plus h minus f of c upon h. So here what we are doing, we are finding the value of derivative just to the left of point c and just to the right of point c. If both this left hand and right hand derivative value is same, then I will say that the function is differentiable at x is equals to c. Now let us discuss some formulas, okay, for some standard functions. What are their derivatives? So function we can write as fx. So there are different ways. We can say fx or we can say y. Fx is a function of x or y is a function of x. So here I am going to use notation y, and it's a derivative. I can say f dash x or dy upon dx. So for fx, its derivative is written as f dash x, and here if I write y, I will say dy upon dx. So f dash x is also the derivative of the function, dy upon dx is also the derivative of the function. Now let us discuss some standard functions and their derivatives. So first we see polynomial functions or algebraic functions. Polynomial function or algebraic function. Now y is equals to x raised to n. This is the most general form of any polynomial function, and its a derivative. If you use the limit method, you will get value as n into x power n minus 1. For example, if I take y is equals to x power say 12, then its derivative dy upon dx will be 12 into x power 11. So you have to remember this formula, that derivative of x power n is n into x power n minus 1. Now in this, I will discuss a few more formulas, like when y is constant. Now when I say y is constant, that is y is say c. Now there is no x term, so you can consider this as it is c into x power 0. So when it is c into x power 0, when you find its derivative, what will happen? 0 will come first. Okay, x power n, to n is coming first. So 0 will come first, and multiplication by 0, if I multiply 0 with any number, my result will be 0. So here derivative of the function when c is a constant, the answer is 0. Okay, so when c is a constant, your derivative is 0. Now constant means what? So you could have c y is equals to 10. This is a constant number. Constant number means it does not include any variable in its multiple form. Okay, so if I say 10x, then it is not a constant function. When I say 10 upon x, then also it is not a constant function. But when it is 10 only, then it is a constant function. You say 10, you say log 10, you say sine 10, any value where x is not involved is constant, and their derivative is 0. So dy upon dx for 10 is 0. Now if y is equals to say x, then what is its derivative? So here the power is 1. So if you differentiate, you find dy upon dx, you get answer as 1 into x power 0. Derivative will be 1 into x power 0. That will give you the answer as 1. So derivative of x is 1. Now if we have to find derivative of root x. So if y is equals to root x. Now this root x is nothing but it is x power half. So if you find a derivative dy upon dx, it is 1 by 2 into x power half minus 1, that is 1 upon this you can simplify 1 by 2 into x power minus half, and this x power minus half can be written as 1 upon x power half. So I will say that dy upon dx is 1 upon 2 x power half, and this is 1 upon 2 root x. Now as many times we come across this function y is equals to root x, so it's a derivative. We remember that dy upon dx is 1 upon 2 root x. So instead of doing this whole calculation, we directly say that derivative of function is 1 upon 2 root x. So derivative of root x is 1 upon 2 root x. Next in this category, we will take some functions whose powers are negative. So if y is equals to say 1 upon x power 10. Okay, so this is nothing but it is x power minus 10, and when we differentiate dy upon dx, we say it is minus 10 into x power minus 10 minus 1, which will be minus 10 x power minus 11, and this I can say that minus 10 upon x power 11. So again, when your y is 1 upon x power 10, its derivative is minus 10 upon x power 11. So if I try to make a formula out of this, I will say that if y is equals to 1 upon x power n, then its derivative dy upon dx is equals to I will say minus n upon x power n plus 1. This is how you can find derivative of y. Okay, y is equals to 1 upon x power n. So it is dy upon dx is minus n upon x power n plus 1. So this is all about your algebraic part. Now let us see second category of function. Second is logarithmic function. Logarithmic function. Okay, so logarithmic function, only one function we discuss, which is y is equals to log x. So when y is equals to log x, its derivative dy upon dx is 1 upon x. Now this is formula. Just remember this formula. For log x, its derivative is 1 upon x. Now when I say log x, that means my base I am talking is e. You know, there are two bases which we discuss. One log with base 10 and other with log with base e. So whenever it is written log, it is log to the base e. Now in most of the textbooks, in place of log x, you see this symbol ln. They say ln x. Now this ln is for log to the base e. Natural log, we say it is natural log. And now when they say log x, that means they are talking about logarithm of a function when base is 10. But as far as 12th standard CBSE is concerned, if it is written log x, you understand it as it is natural log. It is a log with base e. If it has any different base log like 10 or some other value, then they will mention it. So for logarithmic function, when y is equals to log x, its derivative dy upon dx is 1 upon x. Third, we will discuss about exponential function. Exponential function. Now exponential function, y is equals to, suppose a power x. So its derivative dy upon dx is a power x into log a. Here a could be any number. So for example, if I take an example that y is equals to say 10 power x, then its derivative dy upon dx is a power x, that is 10 power x into log 10. 10 power x into log 10, this is derivative of the function. This is for exponential function when y is equals to in the form of a power x. If y is equals to e power x, now here I am taking a special case where my base is e. In that case, when I differentiate, you are going to use the same formula. So it is e power x into log e. And the value of this log e is 1. So derivative of e power x is e power x. So this is all about your exponential function. Next, we have trigonometric function. Very important, trigonometric function. Now in trigonometric function, the first function we discuss when y is sin x. So when y is sin x, its derivative dy upon dx is cos x. When y is cos x, its derivative dy by dx is minus sin x. When y is tan x, its derivative dy upon dx is sec square x. This you have to remember, there is no logic. Okay, how they are coming? They are coming by using that limit formula. If you solve it, you will get these answers. Now for y is equals to cot x, its derivative dy upon dx is minus cosec square x. When y is sec x, its derivative is sec x into tan x. And last, when y is equals to cosec x, its derivative is minus cosec x into cot x. Now, out of these 6 formulas, if you observe carefully, only 3 formulas you have to concentrate. One is when y is equals to sin x. So derivative of sine is cos. Now when you find derivative of second function, which is cos, we already remember after sine we have cos, then we have tan, then we have cot, then we have sec, then we have cosec. So in the same sequence, if I go, derivative of sine is cos and derivative of cos is minus sine. So you see the relation, for sine it is cos, for cos it is minus sine. Now when it is cos, if you observe carefully, all the functions which are starting with c, their derivative is coming with minus sign. So these are simple things which you can observe to remember their derivatives. Okay. So if you remember sine, then the derivative for cos is easy to learn. Okay. Derivative of cos is minus sign. I'm not saying that you did not have to learn. You have to learn, but it will make it easier if you see some relationship between them. Now, when y is equals to 10x, its derivative is sec square x. So when I take cot x as a function, its derivative will become, now here it is square function. Here also I got square function. Here I got sec square. So here I got cosec square. And one more thing, that as it is starting with c, I am getting negative sign. When y is equals to sec x, its derivative I got sec x into tan x. So when y is equals to cosec x, my derivative will be minus cosec x into cot x. Right. So these are the different formulas for trigonometric function. And the last category we have is inverse trigonometric function. Now for inverse trigonometric function, we have y is equals to sine inverse x. So when y is equals to sine inverse x, its a derivative dy upon dx is 1 upon root 1 minus x square. Similarly, when y is equals to cos inverse x, its a derivative will be minus 1 upon root 1 minus x square. So you can see relation here also. For sine inverse, I am getting positive result. For cos inverse, I am getting a negative result. Similarly, when y is equals to tan inverse x, I have dy upon dx is 1 upon 1 plus x square. When y is equals to cot inverse x, then its derivative dy upon dx is minus 1 upon 1 plus x square. Now, what are these inverse functions? For that, there is already a chapter in your book, second chapter. Okay, if you have not covered that, so no worry. At this particular point, you can only see these formulas, you can learn them, and as and when you do that chapter, you will understand what are the inverse trigonometric functions. So here, as we are purely understanding derivative part, so we are concentrating on derivatives of different types of function. Now when y is equals to two more functions to go, when y is equals to sec inverse x, then its derivative dy upon dx is equal to 1 upon x into root of x square minus 1. And when y is equals to cosec inverse x, then its derivative dy by dx is equals to minus 1 upon x root of x square minus 1. So you can see again there is a relation between the derivatives of inverse functions when it is sine inverse, cos inverse, tan inverse, cot inverse, sec inverse, and cosec inverse. So if I summarize, then we have seen derivatives of algebraic or polynomial function. We have seen derivatives of exponential function. We have seen derivatives of logarithmic functions, derivatives of trigonometric functions, and derivatives of inverse trigonometric functions. So total 5 different functions we have discussed and we have seen their derivatives. So for 12th standard, you have to, I will say that these are the different categories of the function that you have to understand and you should know their formulas, their derivatives. So this is your Next step, that you learn all these formulas. After you learn all these formulas, then you have to understand the rules how we find derivatives. Okay, so here I will discuss rules. Rules are very simple. First rule is that when your function is algebraic sum of two or more functions, so these rules are applicable when you have more than one function to differentiate. If there is only one function, then these above formulas are okay, they are well and good. But when you have more than one function, means you are getting more than one function, so which are either in addition or subtraction form or in multiplication or division form, then how you differentiate them? Let us see that. So first I am discussing when they are in addition or subtraction form, then what we will do. Okay, then I will discuss composite function also. So here rules. So if y is equals to say k1 times u plus or minus k2 times v. Okay, here u comma v are functions of x. They are functions of x. Okay, so it's a derivative dy upon dx will be, now this k1 is a constant, I will take this constant out and I differentiate only this part u, which is a function of x. Similarly here I will take k2 out and I differentiate this function v. Okay, so this you can consider as a formula, you can consider this as a rule. This is how you have to apply. Now if I take an example, I say that y is equals to say 5 into sin x minus say 10 into e power x, and I have to differentiate. I have to find dy upon dx. So here I will have 5 out. I will first write the formula d by dx sin x minus 10 d by dx of e power x. So here I will get 5 into derivative of sin x is what? Cos x. Okay, now here the formula come into picture. You have to know the formula. Minus 10 into derivative of e power x is what? E power x. So this is how you got the derivative. Okay, when your functions are in addition or subtraction form. Now I am taking two functions only. There could be three function, four function, right? Okay, this is first rule. Now second rule. When your function is in product form, like u into v. Okay, now this u into v can be multiplied by any number. Okay, so that number always you have to take out. That number will be always in multiplication form. So now we have y is equals to u into v. Now in this case, the rule which we apply is dy upon dx is equals to u into dv upon dx plus v into du upon dx. Okay, many times you can make a mistake that if you have given uv, you will say that okay sir, uv, so derivative of uv is equals to derivative of u into derivative of v. Okay, but this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. You cannot do like this. Here in derivative you cannot do like this. If you see using limit method, okay, you will not get answer what is desired. That answer you will get only when you apply this concept. Okay, so you have to apply this concept only. Derivative of u into v is u derivative of v plus v into derivative of u. This is how I read it. Now for example, if I have y is equals to sin x into, again I will take say 5 power x and I have to find its derivative. So dy upon dx. Now here in this case u is sin x, so I will write sin x into d by dx of 5 power x plus v, that is 5 power x, I will write into d by dx of sin x. So this will give you answer as sin x into 5 power x is derivative of 5 power x is 5 power x into log 5. This sin x is out of derivative. Don't differentiate this sin x here. Okay. Now plus here I have 5 power x out, so write 5 power x as it is into derivative of sin x is cos x. Now you can simplify it if it is possible. Like here 5 power x we can take common. So 5 power x we have taken common, and here we have sin x into log 5. We have sin x into log 5 plus we have cos x. This is dy upon dx. Next, third, we have when we have y is equals to of the form u upon v. So when y is equals to u upon v form, then it's a derivative dy upon dx. We find using the formula v into derivative of u, that is v into du upon dx minus u into dv upon dx whole divided by v square. So again, this is a little difficult to remember, but as you practice, you will understand. What we have done, derivative part is in denominator and we have taken its square. In numerator, we have taken first denominator and we differentiate numerator, minus we have taken numerator and we differentiate the denominator. So this is how you find derivative of u upon v. Now here again I will take an example. So let us take an example of say log x, okay, upon 3 power x. So let us take this an example. So how you differentiate? Your derivative will be dy upon dx is equals to v, that is 3 power x into derivative of log x minus, so here it is v into derivative of u minus u, which is log x into derivative of 3 power x, and whole divided by we have 3 power x the whole square. So 3 power x into derivative of log x is 1 upon x minus log x into derivative of 3 power x is 3 power x into log 3. So this is equals to 3 power x upon x minus 3 power x into log 3 into log x. This is dy upon dx. Okay. So this is when we have u upon v form. Okay. These things also you have learned in your 11th standard, but I don't know whether you remember all these methods or not. So we have discussed them here again. Now one more very important thing is composite function. Now let us discuss what is composite function. Composite function. So if you have one function as fx and you have another function as gx, then the composite function could be of the form of fogx or gofx. Okay, again this is your 11th standard concept. Now when I say fog, that means I am talking about f of g of x. When I am talking g of f, I am talking about g of fx. So what you understand here? Here we understand that x is a function of x and g is also a function of x. But when I say that fog, composite function, then here f is a function of gx, where gx is itself a function of some other function. And when I say gof, then here g is a function of fx, where fx is a function of x. So here this level can increase further, means we could have f of g of x. So in place of x, again I could have h of x, like that. So in one function I have its variable another function, in that I have variable another function, like that. Here if I take an example, say if I say that x square, fx is x square function and gx is say sin x function. So when I say f of gx, that is f of g of x, Then this is f of, now in place of gx I will say sin x, and as your fx is x square, so this f of sin x will become sin x the whole square, that is sin square x. So this is sin square x is a composite function. It is sin x the whole square. Sin x is a function and something the whole square is also a function. Okay. So the inner function is gx, which is sin x, and the whole square is outer function. Similarly here, if I take g of fx, so this is g of fx. So in fx, what I will put, sorry, in place of fx, I will put x square. Okay, x square. And then g of x square, g of x is sin x, so here it will become sin of x square. Here it is sin square x, here it is sin x square. Now both are composite function. Here the inner function is x square and outer function is sin x. Here the inner function is sin x, outer function is x square. So if you get problem like this, okay, you get problem like sin square x or sin x square, then how you differentiate it? So how you differentiate the composite function? The basic question is how you differentiate the composite function. Okay, so to differentiate composite function, we use chain rule. What we do? We use chain rule. Now what this chain rule says, that if your function is a composite function, that means your y is a function of, say, another function which is a function of x. So y is a function of u and u is a function of x. Then if you wanted to differentiate dy with respect to x, if you want to differentiate y with respect to x, then you can do it by differentiating this y first with respect to u and then differentiating u with respect to x. So this product what you get will be same as you are finding dy upon dx. So dy upon dx is dy upon du into du upon dx. Okay. Now I will take this example only, where we have y is equals to sin square x. Now you already understand this, that y is equals to sin square x is a composite function. So what I will do, I will take another function, means this is a composite, so I have one function as sin x, other function as x square. So I will define one more function, like I will say that let u is sin x. I will say that u is sin x. So then what you can say, that you can say that y is u square and u is sin x. So here for y, u is a variable and you can differentiate with respect to u. So here you will say that dy upon du, and here when you differentiate it, you will get answer as 2u. Similarly, when you differentiate u with respect to x, you will get cos x as your result. So by definition of chain rule, dy upon dx can be written as dy upon du into du upon dx. So here it is 2u into cos x, sorry. Now this u is nothing but sin x. So here it is 2 into sin x into cos x. Okay, so this is the way you are going to apply the chain rule. Now we can cut short this method. Okay, we can cut short this method, but for that you need practice. Like when I say that y is equals to sin square x, so you have to understand what is the outer function. The outer function is square function is the outer function. So you remember the formula for sin x square, the formula for x square, right? Now it is outer function is a square, so just think about outer function, it is a square function, so its a derivative is 2 into, okay, 2x we say, so 2 into inner function. So in our case inner function is sin x, so we write 2 into sin x and then differentiate this inner function which is sin x. So first differentiate outer function, okay, considering inner function as a variable, then differentiate the inner function. Now this inner function could also be a composite function, so keep on doing like this and you will get the answer. So here I will get answer as 2 into sin x into cos x. So dy upon dx is 2 sin x into cos x. This is how we differentiate the composite function. So I think basics we have considered in this lecture. So now you are ready to solve problems of different types. So in our next class, we will see problems based on the composite functions. So thank you for now. We will meet you in the next class.